Hello and welcome back to Perpetual. Today I will be doing my 2 weeks out presidential election. Currently, I am sick as I just had surgery on my nose, so today I won't have a video cam, but I am excited for all of you to join me and see what I think is going to happen in the next 2 weeks at the presidential election. Uh, we'll start out with our basic. Not Nevada. Our basic information that we have about the election. The classic states are going to go for who they normally go for, and we are going to see some big swings, I think, here. We're going to talk about this. Anyway, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this series. I know that the election is coming up soon, and that maybe you won't be seeing this channel as much anymore, but that's okay. If you'd like to come back and visit me for some video game content, that will be up shortly, and I hope to be seeing you soon. Um, as for right now, let's head back into this election and see what we got. Let's start off with the ones that are here in the South, the ones that won't really make up the election, the ones that will are just additional points for either candidate, and things that Donald Trump needs, and Kamala Harris definitely needs some of these as well. If she really wants to have a good presidency, she needs to win some of these Senate races that are going on and be able to convince everybody to stand with her. So, let's classify Maine's second district. It will go lightly red. And let's classify Nebraska's second district. It will go lead blue, getting our numbers 226 to 149. Let's talk about the state of Texas. Now, Texas as a state is very interesting. It itself has voted Republican for a long time, I believe since the presidency of Ronald Reagan. It has stayed tried and true to the Republican Party, and I believe it will continue to do so. However, we must talk about this. Texas has narrowed up. It is not the state that has been described in the history books as this Republican stronghold. It is not a place that is going to stand strong among other states like Kansas and South Dakota and North Dakota. It's not going to be this huge victory there. I believe that Donald Trump will win the state by around 3 or 4 points, and it won't be anything crazy. For the reason I'm putting it in this very light red color is because of the Senate race there. Ted Cruz is currently fighting to stay alive in his state, and I believe that his challenger, Colin Alred, is putting up a really good fight. He crushed him in the debate, and it's looking pretty bad for Cruz there. So that's why I'm going to put Texas in this light red column. I don't think that Kamala Harris will win the state, but they are campaigning there, and I do believe that it will be closer than any other previous election year except for 1980. As for Florida, previously I classified Florida as a red state. And then, on my last video, I classified it as a blue state by a few points. Just by probably a couple thousand votes. Not like anything crazy. Although, if you look at the comments, the majority of people think that I was being entirely prophecy telling that Florida was going to go red, that was going to go blue, and that seems to be not the case that people think. But I wanted to elaborate on Florida. The mail-in votes that we have received show the Democrats currently losing. However, in places like Miami-Dade and some of the larger cities, you see a high Democratic turnout, and that was the reason for the characterization last week when the polls showed the Democrats were winning the state by a large margin. The same is true for a lot of these other swing states, and that's why I have them in these sort of positions. As for Florida, I do still believe that the state of Florida will possibly go to the Democrats. And this isn't by a percentage point. This isn't even by 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 percentage points. This is by 0.0001. This is not a state that I'm confident about in my guess. This is not a state that I believe will go blue again after this year. This is not a state that I think Kamala can win in 2028, as the trends show that this state is going red, and it will continue to do so. They have a strong Republican governor that they are not going to give up, although the state overall right now is showing positive signs for a Democrat to win there. And that's why the state right now, as I see it, will go blue. Let's talk about another state that I had a interesting discussion about, and that is the state of Arizona. I still believe that Arizona will go red, and here's why. It's a border state. Donald Trump has campaigned hardly and viciously about the immigration crisis, and I believe that he is winning on that front. People trust him on that issue. And I'm not saying that Arizona is going to go more red than Texas with this prediction. I am just saying that it will be won by about 1 to 2 percentage points by Donald Trump. And I believe Arizona will select him as their candidate for the presidency there. However, I do believe the Senate race is a lock for the Democrats in Arizona. I don't believe that Kari Lake can defeat Gallego, and I don't believe that anybody would have you believe that. However, we will see 2 weeks from today when it is decided. As for Nevada, Nevada has increasingly showed signs of being blue. Decision Desk, as well as a few other pollsters, classify the state going blue every single time, along with Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. They believe that Kamala Harris will win with a slim margin of 276, and Donald Trump will only have a few points behind her. However, I believe the state of Nevada is not a lock for Kamala Harris. I believe that the state of Nevada is going to be very close. I believe that it'll be more red than it was in 2020, and I believe that the state of Nevada overall will go red by a very small margin. Now, that's not to say that this is something that Democrats can't win. I think they can, and I think maybe they will. But right now, as I see it, I don't believe the state goes blue. As for Georgia, I have seen enormous turnout. I am calling the state of Georgia for Kamala Harris. I am very confident that the state of Georgia will go blue. I believe she will win this state by a larger margin than Joe Biden did in 2020. And I believe we can see that with the early voting signs, with the most amount of people voting before Election Day ever. Georgia, seemingly to me, is a lock. And in 2026, when they have Senate elections, it will also be a lock then for Democrats as the state continues to shift further to the left. As for North Carolina, in recent weeks, North Carolina has come into question about its election prosperity here. I think North Carolina is going to be similar to Florida. Kamala Harris will win the state by a few thousand votes. Nothing crazy. Before Republicans get crazy in the comments, this doesn't mean that Donald Trump can't win the state. I don't even believe that it's really even better for Kamala than it is Trump. It's just something that I want to make a decision on, not because I think that it's going to happen, but because, I just want to have someone that wins the state. I don't want to have a bunch of states that are looking like this, white. That's not a prediction. This isn't rocket science, guys. This is a prediction. This is not confirmed, but that's how I feel. I feel as though North Carolina will slightly go to the Democrats. They've been trying and fighting and working hard for the state for the last 6 months or so, and I think they're going to win. As for Pennsylvania, with early return votes Pennsylvania will go to Kamala Harris by 1 to 2 percentage points. Michigan, however, has lightened up a little bit. For the first time in the last 3 election cycles, I think Michigan will vote to the right of Pennsylvania, as well as Wisconsin. And this will be my map 2 weeks from Election Day, 332 to 206. Kamala Harris sweeping the map, but by pretty narrow margins. If you take away Michigan, if you take away North Carolina, and you take away Florida, it's only 271 to 206. So this is not a locked election for Kamala Harris. And this doesn't even mean that Wisconsin and Pennsylvania are locks. If you take away that, there it is. Republicans win. Well, not New Jersey, despite the conspiracies that they will. That could be the map. 296. It's over. However, without margins of error, I will show you my marginless map, and because it's prettier and people like that for whatever reason, here we are. This is what the election map will look like. It is looking eerily similar to Barack Obama's 2008 election victory, and I believe that it will be similar. Although I believe Barack Obama won Ohio and Indiana in 2008 and Iowa, right? Something like that. He didn't lose, or he didn't win Georgia, so it was something like that. But anyway, that is what I believe it will be. Let's put these guys right back where they were. Yep, this is my election map as of right now. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you have a great day. Subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you soon. Farewell.